Hello, happy Sunday morning, cinnamon people. I almost said cinnamon buns because I haven't recorded a members video yet, which I probably should do today. It's gonna be kind of a formal informal check-in. Let you guys know my progress on my Halloween crochet along that I'm doing with. That sounds like I'm officially doing something with anybody. I'm not. So Serdar does apparently a whole bunch of blankets that they do crochet alongs with. And I didn't actually hear about this until I think it was a year or two ago. I was actually contacted by Michigan Fine Yarn. She wanted me to join the crochet along. And I was in the process of doing all the prep work for premiere week, and there's no way I could have signed on for anything like that. And so I politely declined, and I have not been invited by her again since. But I decided to join this crochet along because it's for a Halloween blanket. I'm not even gonna show you. I print it. My printer is a it's not an ink printer. It's a, what do you call it? A laser printer, where it just shoots them out real fast. And it's black and white, and it's actually a really cool printer. I bought it for school stuff, but it doesn't do color. So I'm gonna pull up the picture on my phone so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the blanket. I already did a whole video on this. I've never done the crochet along, so I didn't know what to expect. I only printed off part of the pattern because I did not know this because I've never done it before. They do have it in US and UK terms, and the whole pattern will have the first section of the pattern when you download it is the UK terms, and then the second half of the pattern is US terms. I also didn't want to waste ink on, they have this page twice basically, so they have it this, and then they have the next page with the same photo but with like information on the designer. I didn't need to print that. So what I did is when I printed it, I printed page 1, and if next week says week 2 with the same photo, I'm not going to print that either. I'm just going to print week 2, and I'm going to staple it together, and we're going to call it a day. And then the pages weren't listed. They're not numbered in the pattern when you download it. So I also printed this, and this will be a one and done. I'm not going to reprint this page if it's part of it. So it says the yarn colors and the yarn color numbers. And then it says the squares for this week should be 9 inches by 9 inches. And they are, because this is a ruler along the side of the paper. And I measured, and it is exactly 9 inches. And then it says approximate size of the blanket, not including the cobwebs, is 45 inches by 39 inches. And instantaneously, I wish that I had done this in worsted weight yarn, because it would have been a bigger blanket. And while that's not a small size, I'm a big girl. If I want a blanket, I want it to cover my body, and I just don't. Let me see how big 39 inches is, because I feel like 39 inches is not real huge. Oh, maybe? I guess that's a pretty good sized blanket. That will absolutely cover my body. Alright, so I'm not mad at that. Do I wish I had done this in worsted weight? Yeah, probably. But if you go watch No Catchy Name, her name is Ella. In case you haven't heard of her, her name is Ella. Her channel is No Catchy Name. She's doing this with yarn she already has, and she's using worsted weight. So we will get a good idea of how big her projects are. Hopefully she does measurements and says, hey, my square instead of 9 by 9 is 12 by 12 or 11 by 11 or whatever, because it will be bigger with worsted weight. I'm also using a 4mm crochet hook. I don't remember what this said to use. 4mm crochet hook. So I am using 4mm. And apparently I'm spot on with gauge because it is 9 inches. I somehow knew it was you. Oreo pops that door, walks in every time. As you can see, I am feeling better. I am at about 60% feeling better. Not at 100%. But I am feeling a little better. And then I printed this page off that says magic ring. Shows you how to make a magic ring. Tips and techniques. Notes. Color changes. Tension. None of this I actually need to know, but I figured I'd print it off anyway. It's there if I need it. It talks about this week's stitches, how to chain, double crochet, slip stitch, fasten off, treble, half double, single. All of those are included in the square. And then I printed off, see how there's a little US sign there? US terms for the page. Bat square 1, bat square 2, cat moon square 1, and cat moon square 2, right? Yes, are part of this week's pattern. But what confused the heck out of me, now I'm going to review this crochet along. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the whole process. Because I've never done this crochet along. I've never done anything with Serdar. I've never worked with their yarn. The designer for this pattern is, I don't think I actually have her name. Oh yeah, Happy Crochet Lady. So I am not going to critique her necessarily because I don't think that's fair. Because I think all designers are different. I have no problem with anything except the way that they spaced apart the week 1 from whatever is going to be next week. Because it says we're doing a bat and a cat, and we're not at all. We're doing the background for these. Well, I've already done 3 squares. I'm ready to do the cat and the bat, and this is a Jen problem. This is a me problem. I also screwed up the cat because I am the center of everyone's attention in this world. Not in this world, in my world, in my house. I am the center of everyone's world in my house. Is what I meant to say. I'm not that arrogant to think I'm the center of the world, okay? Not at all. And so last night, I had already made, I'm calling these records because they look like records. They look like records. Can you stop popping? You at least belong here. Go to work. All right. Bentley has come to work late as usual. There's his tushy. Bentley, can you lay down? He laid on the floor because he's hot. He was outside in the sun. These look like records, okay? This is all that they have given us for the bat this week. I want to complete the bat. So much so that I'm trying to figure out how I can engineer my own bat wings to put on here because I'm ready to move on to the next step. So what I love is that it's not 2 of the same exact square. So if you look here, we're going to have a bat in this corner and a bat in this corner. And per the pattern, these are the bats. They made the border color different, which I love that they did that. I love that they did that. So I think these are really pretty and they remind me of records. And I didn't know this. There's another Halloween blanket crochet along going on that's not from Serdar. And it's Alt Knots. A-L-T Knots. K-N-O-T-S. She has delightfully red hair too, just like me. Hers is a little bit bolder than mine, but she's doing a crochet along based on Halloween movies. And that's what I saw her video pop up. I was like, I did not know she was doing a crochet along. You have 2 options for Halloween blankets. She has VHS tapes, which is so stinking cute, on her blanket. Her blanket is way not as complicated and detailed as this one. And I say that because if you look at that and you're like, there's no way I can do all of that. Go check out Alt Knots. Tell her Cinnamon Stitches sent you. And go join her crochet along. And you can use whatever yarn you have. And she's got a square with VHS tapes on it, and I don't remember what else because I was looking at the VHS tapes. I did not watch her entire video because, like I said yesterday, I was the center of everyone's attention. Now, I'm trying to count because when you work in the round, you have to count. You guys know, I've showed you how to work in the round on the amigurumis, on hats. You have to increase in a certain specific manner to get it to lay flat. So I'm trying to count stitches. My son is being loud. The dogs are non-stop barking. Mr. Cinnamon is in and out of the house because he's got to do this. He's just doing stuff, okay? I think he's seeing how stressed out I am. He's trying to take some of the pressure off and get things done. He's moving part of the couch out and putting it in storage. And so he's in and out and moving stuff and made a big mess on the living room floor. And I looked at it, I was like, please tell me you're going to finish your job and clean this mess up because I am not cleaning that mess up off the floor. It's all the stuff that tends to get swept underneath the couch. Like pens, little man found a needle, like all, you know, but it's a pile that needs to be swept up and taken care of. He did. It's not there anymore. Tell me this don't look like a record. It's a white record. I love it. And now I'm thinking I'm going to reverse this and I'm going to make a blanket with records on it sometime in the future and maybe some VHS tapes and we'll just do like a 80s crochet along. Yeah, there's no way I'm designing an entire blanket. This is me dreaming, so don't get excited. Maybe someone else will do that. Maybe Alt Knots and Heather the Crochet Witch, because they're two vibes mixed together, okay? This is the cat, sans the cat. So what I messed up here, because, like I said, chaos. My niece comes home from work. The dogs go crazy. RJ was over, but RJ and Juju were at least out of the house at this point. But Juju is shopping for Halloween stuff. And by shopping, I mean she's going to every store that sells Halloween stuff right now and just perusing. And she picks up a little thing for her mom here and there. She's like, every time she leaves the house, she either calls me and lets me know what she's doing, video chats me to show me what she's looking at in the store because she knows I love Halloween as much as her. And she knows I felt like crap yesterday and she wanted her mama to feel better. So she brought me home the ugliest, cutest little pumpkin with a face on it and it looks like a witch. Like the face is a witch, but also kind of looks like my maternal grandfather. And it was this big. It's upstairs in my room because so is my Frankenstein head. What I want to do is clear off and pack some yarn and then decorate for Summerween. I really want to do that. And I have some really cute stuff to put on my shelves right now. But right now I'm keeping it in my bedroom because if I do bring it in here, it will inevitably get broke because there's not room for it. So she's calling me and she's like, Mom, video. And I turn on the video. She went to At Home. She went to Michael's. She went to Home Goods. She went to TJ Maxx. She went to Target. Like poor RJ. She just kept him going, okay? So in between all that, she's calling and calling. I added one too many rows of the white. We're going to turn that because, like, I hate the seam right there. When you turn it, you can't even see it. So what I'm going to do, I purposefully, you're supposed to connect the gray and the purple where that jag ends, which would mean the corner would be right here. I purposely turned it and put the corner here because if you look back here, the cat is not in the corner, right? I mean, she kind of is, but we're going to put the cat covering that. So the cat's going to be like that to block that stupid jag. So I moved the corner over for that purpose exactly. Because we're going to cover that up. We're not even going to see that. Just like that, it's invisible. Wait a minute. No, it's not invisible. Hang on. We got to turn it, rotate. Now I can't make it go away. Pretend you don't see it. Okay, look. Isn't that a beautiful square? So what I was supposed to do is put 2 rows of the gray. So I accidentally added a whole extra row of the white. And at this point, I was exhausted. I wasn't feeling good. What I was doing was I was trying to give myself a little grace by working on something I really wanted to work on. Because I did record 3 videos yesterday, even though I was sick. And By the time you see this Sunday, I'm sure I will feel fantastic and everything will be fine. I'm recording this on Friday. Wednesday and Thursday, I felt real awful. With that being said, I feel a lot better today, just not at 100%, but we're gonna keep rolling with the punches, right? Honestly, I like it better because I really did not have the energy to not only frog the white row, but add those stitches back in because, let's see, how many stitches is in that row? That would be the 10th row? No, that's the 9th row. So if I frogged the 9th row, that's 108 stitches I would have had to frog and redo. I was not willing to put an extra 108 stitches into this. So instead, I just did one row of gray, and honestly, I like it better. Let me show you the colored version. So see how there's 2 rows of the gray on there? I think the gray, just the one row, I like it better. Personal preference. So I'm going to repeat this on the second cat square, which I have not started yet, because there's supposed to be 2 cats and 2 bats. And then the second cat square, I think, is supposed to have a black border. Let me double check that. Yes, it's supposed to have a black border. I kind of really like the purple though. Do I want 2 in purple? See, the second one's supposed to be black. But I really like the purple. But also I need the purple for a lot of other parts of the blanket. So maybe I'll just stick with the pattern and do black. But that's what I have done so far. That is our trick or treat crochet along. I got 3 of the 4 squares done for the week. And by the time Wednesday rolls around, when the next week 2 pattern comes out, I will have finished the 4th square, and hopefully they show how to do the cats and the bats, because that was a little frustrating to me. And honestly, I was looking at this, and another thing I think I'm going to try to do is, because they have the squares for the eyeball, the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, that's like Jack Skellington's skeleton face, and then a weird swirl. What I think I'm gonna do, I have squares that are similar size and shape to this from Jada and Stitches, and I have to wait and see the measurements of these versus the measurements of Jada's, because I bought Jada's patterns of Jada's squares and see where they compare. And then maybe instead of putting the swirls in every row, I would kind of like to add Frankenstein. So A, it will add Frankenstein to my blanket, but B, it will also make it different than anyone else's. And I want a swirl or 2, but I also want Frankenstein in there. And also the Jack Skellington is okay, but I mean, I could replace a swirl in this row, a Jack Skellington in this row, a swirl in this row, and a Jack Skellington, and just put Frankenstein in there. And then there will be no sense to the pattern. Like, it will be all, you know what I'm saying? It will just make it unique. It will make it cinnamon stitches. And yeah, so I that's what I'm thinking about doing. But again, I have to wait until that week comes out and see how big their squares are for that. I mean, I can kind of look on here and see that that's probably going to be a 5-inch square, because it is slightly less than half of the size of the bat and the cat. And we know that these are 9 inches, and that is slightly less than half of the size both this way and that way. So I'm going to say those are 5-inch squares. And if I recall, Jada and Stitches also is 5-inch squares, but I will also have to look that up. But I mean, that'd be cool to put a little bit of Jada in there and a little bit of Cinnamon Stitches in there and just make it mine. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I decided on that yesterday. I'd done made up my mind. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Now, with that being said, I ordered yarn yesterday, and I ordered a little more today for a couple of reasons. So this is, we're no longer talking about the Serdar Trick or Treat crochet along. Now we're talking just about Cinnamon Stitches land. Couple things. I got notified that someone posted in my Facebook group, and if you're not part of the Facebook group, you really should be, because a lot of times that's where I'm getting my information from, is my people over there. Because my people don't play. Okay, there might be more yarn upset. No, they're not. They're about as yarn obsessed as I am. And when they hear something on the YouTube streets or in other Facebook groups, they run to tell me. And I love them so much for that, because I wouldn't know otherwise. I'm in other groups, but I don't follow in the other groups because I'm busy trying to manage my group. And there's over 10,000 people in our Facebook group right now. And can I tell you, I never have problems in there. Very rarely do I have problems in the Facebook group. Every once in a while, every once in a great while, somebody will break a rule because they forgot. And they haven't really tested me on the fact that I'm like, hey, you're not supposed to post link. Me and my family are the only ones that are allowed to post links, because I check and double check to make sure those links are proper links. They're not phishing links. They're not spammy links. They're either affiliate links from me, or they're links to something that I know is going to go directly to that page. I check and double check those links. And I also have two. First of all, my husband works in he has several college degrees in cybersecurity, information technology. He knows, and I have him. He's a moderator in the group. He knows if something's not right with a link. Okay, my son, who is about to turn 11 years old on August 8th, is a genius, and he knows how to do pretty much everything his dad knows how to do without a college degree, which is insane to me, but he's that smart. And he spends most of his day watching videos and reading. He was sitting and reading a car manual on the couch the other day because that's what he finds interesting to read, not fiction. He was reading a car manual because he wanted to know how all the computer components in his sister's old car worked. Because when they came and got the car because it was totaled, he's like, can I please keep the manual? You can keep the manual. He also has read the manual for his dad's truck and his sister's new car, so that he knows how to program, fix, mess with all kinds of things that you might not even realize your car does, because that's what happened to us. We had no idea our car did X, Y, and Z. He's like, oh no, it does this, look, and is a new function they don't tell you about. Yeah. So anyway, he also, when he is of age and he can be responsible on the internet, I have no doubt he will be a moderator and possibly help me run this channel, because I'm sure that he could do things better than I do. Anyway, what was I talking about? Links in the Facebook group. Hirschners. No, Hobie. So somebody posted in the Facebook group, Hobie released their Halloween yarn. Now, I do have Halloween yarn. Do I know where it is? No. It's either in this red bucket here, which would make no sense at all because that's a Christmas bucket. Is there possibly Halloween yarn in there? Maybe. But the last time I tried to move these buckets, I dropped 8 buckets on Bentley's head. And I'm not trying to do that because Bentley lays right here in this dog bed. You see how cute that little boy is? Can you imagine these buckets collapsing on his head right here? Because that's exactly what happened. That looks like it's a far distance. It's all of like 2 feet. If that. If that. Also, I'm not trying to throw my back out once again, because every time I move those buckets, I hurt myself. So this might be Halloween yarn. But I can't know that for sure unless I have help getting the buckets moved. And none of the rest of the buckets are Halloween. And also, there's a very good chance my Halloween yarn is in storage. Because my Christmas yarn is at the top of this stack. I can see it. It's in a big Ziploc bag. Them The vacuum bags, it's not vacuum though, because it's overflowing and there's no room for the vacuum. So Hobie released Halloween yarn. I placed a small order from Hobie. I didn't get any of the real thin yarns. I got some of their fluffy yarns to compare those to yarn that Premier already has on the market, because honestly I think it's the same yarn. And then today Hirschner's was like, whoa, like we have new Christmas yarns. But also Hirschner's released yarn that looks like it is they tried to duplicate the jelly bean yarn. Is it the jelly bean yarn? And once again, I have a scrap somewhere in my scrap bin, which is right here. This is my scrap bin behind this skein of yarn. There's a giant laundry basket filled with scraps. I think it's the jelly bean yarn. Hirschner's has what looks like a dupe. However, it looks like it's fuzzy instead of the smooth strand. So I ordered some of that to do a comparison, but I also ordered some yarn that I have wanted for a while, and it's either the Celebrate yarn. So I did Celebrate, which is like all of the holidays. I did, and I only did like a skein of each. I did Halloween specific yarn and then Christmas specific yarn. So I ordered that. I think that's all I ordered. Because, you know, the holidays are coming up. I like to make holiday stuff. And also, aside from this, I was thinking about if I get this done, I would really like a Halloween sweater. And furthermore, while I was crocheting this, I already had one of the records done. I was like, dang, I wish I had thought ahead of time to use the Lion brand glow-in-the-dark yarn for the white. Because how cool would that have been? The moon actually glowing behind the cat and the bat. I didn't even think about it. And let me get back here. Boy. That's not the right one. Bear with me. So just the regular DIY glow, not the DIY glow cozy, which is a different type of yarn entirely. I feel like that's a 3-weight. It says it's a 4-weight, but this is, it's actually thinner than the 3-weight for the blanket. So I was like, that would have been so cute. I don't have enough, I don't think, to do it. I would have had to order more, but how cool would that be if you have an excess amount of glow-in-the-dark yarn to do the glow-in-the-dark moons? So I was totally thinking about that last night. And how cool that would be. But it would totally mess up gauge because, like I said, the DIY cozy is thinner than the 3-weight for this. And then the DIY cozy, the glow is a thinner. The glow cozy is thicker. So the gauge would have been off. And then it would have set the whole blanket off because you're lining these up. And because this is already 9 inches and these are not 9 inches, you need everything to be the right size so that they patch up together and the blanket is straight and even. Although it doesn't look like this blanket is. So I'm going to allow myself for error. And if I want to make this blanket bigger, because I did order the Hirschner's Halloween yarn, and I also have a supply of, it might not be up there. It's probably in the Halloween bag or the Halloween bucket. If I did Halloween yarn to make an extra border on here to make it a little bit bigger, I'm sure that I could do that and still figure out how to do the cobweb borders. Because the cobweb borders, I might alter anyway, to be real honest with you. I just might. I might change it up. I might change up a lot of things on this, and we're just going to be okay with that because I get bored following other people's designs very often. I gotta deal with that. I got an email from Premiere. Speaking of Premiere, did you guys watch the video with the new yarn? I'm trying to figure out a tutorial I want to make with this yarn. I have blue and pink. And for the life of me, I cannot think of what to make with the blue and the pink. Now, because I want to design something. I can't, like, I could do a butterfly. I think the blue and the pink would be really cute as a butterfly. I'm trying to think of what else I could make with that yarn for a tutorial that would be a simple no-sew pattern or a low-sew pattern. Something that's beginner friendly. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and look and see, get some ideas from the internet and go from there. Because the blue and the pink is throwing me off. Those are not colors, because I didn't pick those colors. Those are not colors I would have picked. I would have picked the pink. I don't know what I would have made with the pink. Because even now, I have not really made anything with pink. As I look around. I made a bird. Yeah. The only thing I made with the pink is blue, or blues, yeah. I made birds with the pink. So I'm trying to think of an amigurumi idea with the blue or the pink, or the blue and the pink. And see what we could do from that. Although, even though it's Friday and it's before, they actually Premiere released on their Instagram a preview of some of the patterns they're gonna have for this yarn. And because I'm recording this, it's actually an hour before they launch the yarn. But look at some of the cute patterns they're going to have for this new yarn. The popcorn, I definitely want to make. The tea kettle is adorable. The star is cute. That looks like a piece of pie with a record on it. Maybe it's a record player. Either way, that's stinking cute. I will be making that. I love this new aesthetic. And I'm definitely going to make a cactus, which means I need to order some of these colors. That looks like a moon with a hat on it. A clock. And I think that's a lamp. I don't know who their design team is. I've never talked to their design team, but oh my god, some of the stuff they're coming up with is cute. I definitely need to make a record player. If that's a record player, I thought it was pie. Come on, focus. If that's a record player, we're going to be making that here on the channel. We're going to be doing it. We're going to do it together maybe. And then I think that's either a tea kettle or a cup of something. Hot cocoa maybe? I would make it all in one color. I wouldn't do it multiple colors like that. And I can't tell if it's a coffee cup or a tea kettle, but it's got to be a coffee cup because the tea kettle looks like that. But, oh, we're going to be making some popcorn. I might make it with regular yarn, though. Because if I do it like that, I have to buy red and white and black. And it looks like they're using the blue. And then whatever that yellow, that light yellow color is for the popcorn. But I could probably make that from regular yarn and just make it much smaller. Those are stinking cute. So, yeah. That's what I'm doing today. I am going to make my other cat moon square. And then I'm going to do research. And I'm going to do a lot of sitting on the couch today. I'm going to be real honest with you. There were so many things I wanted to do this weekend. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any of them. I wanted to go to the new Buc-ee's. There's a new Buc-ee's here in Virginia. We finally got our own Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a giant. If you don't live in the United States and you're listening to this, you've probably heard about Buc-ee's on the internet. I've been to several Buc-ee's because they're all along I-95 down towards Florida when we go to Florida. But also I've been to the original Buc-ee's that are in Texas. And some of the ones in Texas are just regular looking gas stations. They don't look spectacular. They're not giant. But the ones that they're building now are like a Walmart. I mean, they're like a Walmart the community stores or whatever they are, the green Walmarts. They're like that level of like store. So I'm trying to think of another store in comparison to size of Buc-ee's, because they sell clothes and bathing suits, towels and seasonal stuff, and they sell home decor, and they sell food items, and they have like a little smokehouse in the middle where they sell like brisket and like smoked sausages and stuff like that. They have a fudge counter where you can get any flavor of fudge you want, which all has wheat in it, so I can't really eat it. And then they have a jerky. Some Buc-ee's has a jerky counter where you can get jerky out of the display. And some of them just have a giant wall of bags of jerky, beef jerky. Again, a lot of those have gluten in them because they're made with soy sauce. And that makes me sad because I really, really like beef jerky. But like, I can't eat most beef jerkies because either my teeth don't like it. In case you don't know, I have this whole back side of my jaw is not real. It had to be replaced. I had severe bone loss. And so they had to replace the whole back side back here. And so that, I don't even play around with my bridge. Like, I'm not trying to chew anything on there that's going to make that pop loose, because my dad broke his bridge I don't know how many times. Although his bridge was not as fancy as mine. My bridge is, I got the good teeth. I have better insurance than my dad ever had. And it still cost me $1,000 for these chompers right here. I'm getting kind of hot. I think I need to pull my hair up. Do I have a rubber band in here? I think my rubber bands are in my bedroom, because my daughter keeps stealing my rubber bands. Yeah, it's not in there anymore. So, besides going to Buc-ee's, I also kind of wanted to go to an antique store this weekend. But Juju wanted to go to both of those places too, and like her work schedule, they got her working every weekend. So I'm gonna have to get with her and see when we can actually go to both Buc-ee's, and RJ wants to go with us too. So, and the antique store. So I need to see when the two of them are gonna be available and go from there. But also, I don't know if I have the energy to do much this weekend or how I'm going to be feeling, and I'm really not trying to cause my body to get sick again from doing too much. And I just really want to say thank you. I was watching Colby Ryan. He is the only surviving son of Lori Daybell Vallow, whatever her name is. And I started watching him because, if you don't know who Lori Daybell Vallow is, she is the murderer who killed her husband, who killed her 2 children, who killed her new husband's wife. Like, they were just on a killing spree. And she's a really, really awful person. And I started watching her son because he lost his entire family. And it was heartbreaking to watch, but also like, he's so endearing and kind, and he is, I relate to that boy. But also, like, my mom instinct kicked in watching him, and I'm not old enough to be his mom, I don't think. I mean, technically I probably am, but oh, do I want to mother him. Like, my mom instincts kicked in. Like, he did not deserve the lot that life has thrown at him. And this week, he even, this is where it hit really home to me. He's had a couple strokes this week, and he is young. I think he's 20-something. He's had 2 strokes this week. And I think I've been watching him for a while, and I'm watching the stress. You can see the stress of watching his mom's trials. He does like this jaw thing when he's trying to fight his emotions. Like, he bites the inside of his cheek, which I do. And so I noticed it instantly. He does this, which I do when I'm really, really high stress. And he grinds it looks like he grinds his teeth. And so I was watching him, and I'm like, he's he's torturing himself by reliving his mom's trial for killing his siblings. And I wanted to reach out to him so bad and be like, you need to stop. Like, you don't understand what this is going to do to you. There is a serious physical aspect to stress. Ask me how I know. This week, watching him have a stroke and get on the edge of a second stroke. And granted, he picked up something called Valley, I don't remember what it's called. He lives in Arizona and the dust can get you sick. It's Valley something or another, which caused an infection and possibly caused fungal meningitis in his brain. And I'm watching it and I'm just like, it's the stress that made his body more susceptible to the disease. I'm not going to tell him that. I mean, if he ever happens upon this video, which I don't think he will, but your body, I'm watching him, I'm relating so much to a couple of things. When you put your body under too much stress or duress, or for me, because I do have autoimmune issues, because of all the health issues that are underlying to begin with, stress, exertion, doing too much, it causes your body to go into shutdown mode. I watched my mom go through this her entire life. And you don't realize when you're doing it that you're doing it until it's too late and you're like, oh, I did too much crap. I screwed myself. Which I do frequently. Because when you feel good, you feel good. And you just want to do as much as you can. Even though I knew the mental aspect for me was real. To say I'm under stress is an understatement with everything that's going on in my world. And I've touched a little bit. So you're getting this much of the story while there's this much of the story. Okay? So keep all of that in mind when I'm telling you this. Because not everything is for the internet. And there's always more to the story. So I knew that I was under mental stress. And I knew that that in itself was having a toll on my body. And I pushed and pushed the physical part of my body because I felt okay enough to do it. But also pushing myself to exertion helps calm my brain down. And it's the only coping mechanism that I have currently. But I'm working to fix a lot of stuff in my life. You guys know life is a progress and it's a process. And I'm just doing the best I can with what I have right now. And yeah, I screwed up. I did way too much last week and the week before. On top of the mental stress I was already under. And I'm watching him, Colby. And I'm like, oh, do I relate to what he's going through? Like the fear, everybody's relying on me, I gotta do this. And then he started talking about his channel and how they're more like a family and how he started getting a little emotional. He's like, I appreciate how much you guys love me and it feels more like family. And he don't have family. I don't have family. I have my family I created, my husband, my kids, even the kids I adopted. They're not legally adopted, but they're mine. And he was just so appreciative, and he also felt guilty, and he felt all these things I related to because, oh, that comes from trauma. The guilt that people love you enough to try to take care of you, that's trauma. Ask me how I know. The guilt that I'm not doing enough in return to deserve that, that's also trauma. Ask me how I know. And so he was talking and I related, and I could see myself in his shoes. Like if I was in the hospital, I'd probably be doing the same thing as him. I'd be making a video so you guys knew I was still here and I still loved you. And oh, do I appreciate you and love you guys. And please don't leave me because I need you now more than ever. Whew. Yeah. I am going to link Colby. And even if you are slightly into true crime, go watch his channel. He talks a lot about, I was going to say victim. I don't want to say victim. The survivor. He talks a lot about being a survivor of that. So it's from the perspective of the survivor, which honestly, I think all true crime should show things from the perspective of the survivor so we understand the impact that that kind of stuff has, because a lot of us are just like all into the true crime. I'm one of them. I watch murder documentaries for fun and entertainment while I crochet, and I crochet to get rid of the anxiety and the mental anguish I have. And for some reason, crime documentaries, I don't know. Maybe it makes me feel less crazy that there's people far more crazy than me. And like, we all have dark thoughts. We all do. And if you say you've never had a dark thought, you're lying, because when you flip somebody off because they cut you off in traffic, that's a dark thought. You secretly hope that they're driving so fast that they crash ahead. And I know that that's a dark thought and you shouldn't have those kind of thoughts, but everyone has them in their fleeting moments, okay? And so I think the reason we're drawn to the crime documentaries and stuff is because, like, first of all, I'm fascinated with the psychology behind it. What makes somebody do that? What makes somebody, like, I'm just fascinated with the way the human mind works in all aspects. Whether you're evil or, and also, like, is evil real? Is evil real? Is there, and I contemplate this a lot, is evil real? Is there a true evil presence out there that is an external force that makes us evil? Or is evil just a part of all of us, and some of us embrace it and some of us reject it? That's where my mind goes. And you can believe differently than me. That's okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to try to convince you that my point of view, because my point of view sways. And some days I feel one way, and some days I'm like, I don't know. I think evil lives in everyone, just like good lives in everyone. And I think it's about choices. Some of it's just about mental illness and you really can't control it. But I don't think that's an external force making you evil. I think evil just exists, just like good exists. And I think also in the aspect that energy is transferable, I think that you can be influenced by a lot of things to sway which way you're going to go, evil or good. And I don't think that's an external force that's making you. I think it's just something that lives inside of you. So, and I could be wrong. I don't have all the answers. Just because I'm brave enough to put my opinion on the internet does not mean I know what I'm talking about. I just speak with confidence. And that is the key to being on the internet. You just have to speak with authority. Pretend you have all the answers. Although I don't have all the answers. I do not have all the answers. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm going to give you my advice, and whether you take it or not is up to you, because I do not have all the answers. So anyway, I talked about a lot of people in today's video. I'm going to try to click and link them all. I'm really bad at linking them. But Heather the Crochet Witch is doing the Serdar blanket. So is Ella from No Catchy Name. I think those are the only two people that I have seen doing it. I don't watch a lot of crochet YouTube. I prefer police videos, crime documentaries. I really like watching Ben Works. Ben Works blogs specifically because I love his wife Nicole. I just think she's fantastic. I watch them at night when I can't sleep. And honestly, sometimes they help me go to sleep because they have a happy presentation about them. And it makes me feel happy, so it helps me to sleep better. Not that I find them boring at all, because I don't. I will stay up really late and watch them make all kinds of weird stuff with resin, paint, and whatever else they're messing with at the time. And then I will link Colby. He does have a GoFundMe, and I think the GoFundMe is probably for his medical bills. I don't think he has medical insurance. I don't know that for sure. I haven't looked at the GoFundMe, but he has been in the hospital most of the past week, and he's had MRIs and CAT scans and all kinds of stuff, and I can't even imagine the medical bills he's racking up if he doesn't have insurance. And like I said, I don't know if he has insurance. I don't know if he has a job outside of his YouTube. I don't know if his wife has a job. I don't know any of that. So I'm not saying whether or not to support his GoFundMe or anything, but if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, even if you're not, he has an amazing heart. He is really kind, and he tries to spread a good positive message, and I'm all for that, considering what he's been through. For him to still be filled with love and a godly nature is an absolute miracle. And it's a miracle that he survived all of that. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. We've talked about a lot of weird stuff here on the channel today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I will show you everything I have made in the crochet world. I haven't made a lot. Actually, I can't even show you the top that I finished from. The designer is Olga Peltova. I did a test pattern for her. I will show that. Her pattern releases in August. I will show you that. Other than that, I don't know what else I have to show you besides this, because that's all I have worked on this week. Maybe we'll talk about something else tomorrow. I have no idea. But with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.